Hey there. I was gonna make a review on the Callisto protocol. I had a bunch of semi-witty jokes and stereotypical accents ready to go. But nah, I think I'm gonna make this video instead. I'm gonna go on a little rant. Instead of an overview and review like a proper little YouTuber, I just wanna work some shit out for a second. Now, this isn't going to be me ranting about the Callisto protocol and tearing it apart like some sort of savage, even though this game has a lot to be criticized for. Instead, I just want to talk about game updates in general, and how I absolutely cannot stand them while using the Callisto protocol as a main example. Before I fly off the handle like some sort of lunatic, let's discuss the new development company called Striking Distance Studios. When going on their website, you can read about the About Us page to get to know the SDS crew.
Led by Dead Space and Call of Duty franchise veteran Glenn Schofield.
Sorry, all caps were on. The development team at Striking Distance Studios is hard at work on its first game, The Callisto Protocol, a single-player and story-driven survival horror game set in a prison colony on Jupiter's moon, Callisto. Now, I would be more lenient, and SDS only has 150 members right now. I remember reading in an interview with Glenn Schofield, I'll try and find the article, but he stated he would need at least 300 members to achieve what they were going for, so that leads me to believe that they were understaffed. However, they also got many ex-Dead Space developers to help, as stated by the chief development officer in an interview with GamesBeat on the VentureBeat website. He said the, quote, team was assembled of many ex-Dead Space developers, unquote. Now what that means, I have no fucking clue. I don't know what many is to him. It's actually a very vague amount. But I'd imagine it's 10 plus. Another thing I'll say, the original Visceral games only had 80 members. So I believe they could have made the next big thing, regardless of having 300 members or not. Next are their values.
People first!
Everything starts with the people who make our games and the fans we make them for. Within our studio and community, we strive for an environment of mutual respect and trust, diversity, and creative courage. I really wish corporations and companies would just stop doing the whole buddy-buddy system. It's starting to get really old. Not so much with SDS per se, but more like the ones who clearly just want money and nothing else. I have reasons to believe that Striking Distance Studios is actually genuine with their words. They've displayed their passion for good quality games in the past with Visceral, and I kinda got a soft spot because they kinda got fucked over by EA after they landed the Star Wars deal. It seems like EA only wanted money. What a shocker. It's nice to see that they went on to bigger and better things, and I really hope this company works out for all of them. I actually really do mean that, regardless of how rough this rant gets. There's so much potential within this company, and there's a lot of talent involved with how it looks. Look at this man's head sweat. Now that's detail. All right, you two, get a room. Anyway, it just gets to be too much when the whole, hey, we just want to make the best games for you because it's about the players, and then release an unfinished product that needs multiple updates to fix. Heck, sometimes the updates take hours to download, or it takes up way too much space. Ain't that right? Warzone. It seems instant gratification became the main focus point, but at the same time, seemed like a convenience for the companies with the new digital era, since they could patch the game bugs and crashes with updates sent straight to the gaming system. This has evolved into a repeating business practice of release it now, fix it later, which totally works out because the public gets their game, the company gets their money, and everybody's happy. Oh wait, the games aren't properly tested, or it needs major changes that won't come out for a few days to a week. So actually, it's just the company getting their money and the public getting screwed. I fully understand that the game updates can make their games better, and they can communicate with their players on what to change, but we should not be beta testing their game. Game glitches and bugs are one thing. Sometimes shit breaks. I totally get it. But if you're changing the game mechanics, that's when it gets a tad ridiculous. That's one of the reasons why I cannot get into Overwatch. You learn a character and then they change it 2 weeks out. Like, what's the fucking point? There's insanity involved with that game. Well, the Callisto protocol is of no exception. They changed so much when it was perfectly playable before. I'm salty because I didn't beat this game before the first patch came out. I got about halfway because I wanted to beat a little game called God of War Ragnarok first. I ended up beating it after the first patch, and I can understand why people are reacting the way they are with their reviews, both modern and first day. It had PC problems on day one, but I don't really care about that since I have a PS5, so I mean, it's kind of like whatever. Although, the checkpoint system sucked major asshole. I don't know how that made it through beta testing, missing 150 employees all working on the same thing, especially since they had elaborate death animations that I just boop. But wait, there's more! The healing process was slow and drawn out, but really, it's not any better now. Before, you had a slow healing process, but you got a lot of health back. Now, you have a quicker healing process, but you barely get any health back. Can he at least get an upgrade where he can just quickly inject himself in the neck? Lastly, the difficulty spike toward the end of the game had me shitting my pants in pure anger. I don't know what this was like before the patch, but it must have been really stupid. It's incredible how much bad luck this guy has. This guy gets shit on worse than butters. The face grabbers that attacked me toward the end of the game is so high, I feel like Jacob might be pregnant with a sludge baby. Hey guys, you already made this guy stressful enough. Mind cutting it back a tad? It seems they raised the difficulty a bit to make it seem more stressful and scary, but it really makes it more frustrating. You don't even have a proper dodge or sidestep. Why is it this hard? Oh, hello. Yeah, you just keep knocking, stupid. It's property damage you're causing, idiot. This game isn't all that scary. Most scares that happen are cheap and or predictable. It just seemed really amateurish. You can tell where the Dead Space people put their ideas in, and you can tell where the newbies put theirs. I was more startled than scared. Striking Distance said that this game would make Dead Space seem tame. But the truth is, the first minute of Dead Space is more brutal and scary than this entire game. I forgot about half of what happened already, and the more I think about it, the more I just don't really care for it. The ending was set up for DLC and or a spin-off, but I wasn't too fond of the story either. The characters are unlikable, the main bad guy just sucks, and this guy is breathing out of my controller like he's fucking my wife.
Oh shit, bro.
See? There was a lot that I wanted to lay out in a constructed format as to what could be done to improve the next game. But nope, everything's fixed. Perfect game. 10 out of 10. I did not come back to beat this obnoxious game just to have everything change 2 weeks later. You want your review? How about this? Story gets a 5 out of 10, visuals get a 10 out of 10, gameplay 5 out of 10, and scariness 3 out of 10. I replaced uniqueness with scariness so it wouldn't crash and burn. Final score, 23 out of 40 points. There's your goddamn review. I didn't want this to be an attack on SDS, but the whole fixing the gameplay later when it should have just been like that in the first place is getting ridiculous. But I'm sorry you had to get the brunt end of it, Striking Distance. I am ready to just drop it and wait patiently for the Dead Space remake, as well as your next game. Moving on from that, I can see pre-ordering and deluxe editions becoming a thing of the past, because honestly, who's gonna spend an extra $10 to $30 extra on a broken game? I'm just going to wait a month before buying a game now so I can, actually play it as intended. Not only that, but it also makes it a little harder to review a game when you really don't have that much free time to begin with. I work full time, I come back to Callisto, and most things are different. I had to scrap the whole thing. Who in the present day is gonna watch a version 1.01 review? Anyway, that's gonna be it for this little rant. And just to go over the main point, the game updates are fine when it comes to fixing minor glitches and bugs, but it's not fine when it comes to fixing the game from game-breaking shit or making it more playable. Have a good fucking day.